This graphic, shall we? Women's national team training camp roster taking place in Durham, North Carolina, December 12th to the 14th. We got Bats, Boston, Brittany Griner, Hamby, Kiki Iriafin, Paige, Kaylin Clark, Rakia Jackson, Kelsey Plum, Angel Reese, Juju Watkins, Jackie Young, Chelsea Gray. And if you look at the poster where you put your best marketing tools on.
Look at that poster. Really take a second. USA Basketball just unveiled their women's national team training camp roster for December 12th through 14th in Durham, North Carolina. The lineup lists Kaylin Clark, Paige Beckers, Angel Reese, and a blend of seasoned veterans. This should have been a marketing layup. Instead, they placed Kalia Copper dead center, a player whose most viral moment this season was her wig flying off mid-game and getting scooped off the floor. Next to her is Alyssa Thomas, who had a fan laughing at her escorted out by security, and Jackie Young, an excellent talent but still barely recognizable to casual viewers. Meanwhile, Kaylin Clark's name sits sixth in an alphabetical list. No image, no presence. The one player who could instantly elevate interest in this event is nowhere on the promotional material. What are we doing here, Team USA?
And then Alyssa Thomas has that fan laughing at her, escorted out by security. We have Jackie Young, no shade to Jackie Young, but folks, I can walk up to 150,000 people in the streets of New York City and ask them if you know who this woman is. No disrespect, Jackie Young. All 150,000 of those people would say, yeah, I got no idea. I don't even know who any of these people are. That person looks familiar, but I really don't know her name. What's going on, Team USA?
Christine Brennan, the longtime sports journalist who literally wrote the book on Kaylin Clark, called this out immediately. She's covered Olympics and U.S. governing bodies for over 40 years. Her take was blunt and accurate. If USA Basketball truly wanted to explode interest in women's hoops, draw in new fans, and recover from the viewership dip at the Paris Olympics, they would have added one face to that graphic. And everyone knows exactly which one. And so does USA Basketball, which makes the decision even stranger. Fair.
That's the only person that would say, yeah, she doesn't deserve to be on this roster, just out of pure old guard, jealousy, spite, hate narrative. It's clear as day that the people that made the decisions to put out this poster is somebody that is still pushing back against the Kaylin Clark is the reason why we're all here narrative.
Let's revisit what went down at the 2024 Paris Olympics because it matters. USA Basketball decided to exclude Kaylin Clark from the Olympic roster, Angel Reese too. From a pure talent standpoint, Clark earned a spot. From a growth and popularity standpoint, both Clark and Reese were essential. The numbers are undeniable. Women's hoops viewership exploded during the 2024 college season specifically because of these stars. But USA Basketball stuck with the old guard, the familiar names, the players who'd paid dues for years. And what happened? TV numbers for women's basketball in Paris fell. They didn't rise. They dropped. The one perfect chance to ride the momentum from the college season, gone. Now here's where things shift. For the 2026 FIBA World Cup roster,
USA has went the correct route, in my opinion. They embraced the young guns. They embraced the younger generation, the generation that more casuals know. Names that are more familiar, not Alyssa Thomas. Who's Alyssa Thomas? No, we left her off. Now we have Kaylin Clark on the roster. Now we have Paige on the roster, Angel on the roster, Cam Brink on the roster, Aaliyah Boston on the roster, names that we all know.
USA Basketball completely pivoted. They embraced the rising stars. They leaned into the next wave. Kaylin Clark made the roster, Paige Buckers made the roster, Angel Reese, Cameron Brink, Aaliyah Boston. All the players casual fans instantly recognize and care about. The 2024 missteps were so glaring, they replaced the person making the calls and brought in Cheryl Reeve to take over for Team USA. So clearly the organization learned something. They realized they needed a new direction. They understood that growing the sport requires highlighting the players who actually drive fan interest, and here's where the confusion kicks in. On one hand, USA Basketball proved they learned their lesson by building a roster that mixes veteran experience with fresh star power.
Women's basketball bring new fans in and get unprecedented attention for a team that dropped in TV viewership at the Paris Olympics. They would have added the photo of one other player to this graphic, but no. And we all know who that one other player is. I've covered the Olympics and U.S. sports national governing bodies for 40 plus years and plan to be covering them for many more. And NGB's mission is to win medals, but also grow its...
The lineup is exactly what it should be. But the marketing, the actual promotional choices of WSOU feel like they learned nothing. Picture an average fan scrolling online. They glance at this poster. If they're not already deep into the WNBA, they spot Kelsey Plum. Maybe they recognize her, maybe they scroll past without even registering her name. Nothing in this graphic makes them pause, nothing sparks curiosity, nothing signals that this event matters. Now imagine Caitlin Clark front and center. Instantly, casual fans stop scrolling. Oh, Caitlin's playing? When's this? How do I watch? That's the reaction you want. That's how you expand an audience. That's marketing 101. Let's knock out the obvious counterpoint. Maybe they only use players who already had official Team USA photos in uniform. It sounds logical.
People would be intrigued. People would say, oh, Caitlin Clark's back? Let me take a look. You don't even know Caitlin Clark's back playing basketball by looking at this graphic. You would need to squint your eyes real hard and see her sixth way down the list. And I get it, it's in alphabetical order. Even more of a purpose to put Caitlin Clark front and center on this graphic. But we got Ka Copper. And I understand some people might say, oh, well, they're using people that have already been on the team. Photoshop's a hell of a drug. Going back in time is a hell of a job.
But here's the issue. Photoshop exists. Graphic design exists. Caitlin Clark has worn USA colors before with FIBA teams. Those photos exist. And even without that, you can make promotional graphics without action shots. Nike does it all the time. The NBA does it constantly. This isn't a technical roadblock. It's a deliberate choice. And honestly, it's probably easier to Photoshop Caitlin into a USA uniform than whatever decisions led to highlighting Kalia Copper so prominently. No disrespect to Copper, she's a strong player. But from a marketing standpoint, she doesn't drive casual fan interest. That's just the truth. Here's what this reveals about the people behind these decisions. Someone in USA Basketball's marketing department is still resisting the idea that Caitlin Clark is the primary reason women's basketball has exploded.
Shop Caitlin Clark in one of these new nice threads, or you can go back to her days when she was playing with the FIBA team earlier in her basketball career. But to continue to drop the ball is absolutely ridiculous. You ever watch those cartoons? You have like a waiter just carrying all these pots and pans at one time, and then out of nowhere they just slip, and then all the pots and pans fall all over the floor. They gotta go back, they gotta remake the food. This is kind of like what Team USA is doing with this basketball team in advertising and marketing and promoting. They have all this cash on a pan.
They're part of the camp that resents her rise, preferring to spread credit across everyone rather than acknowledging that star power matters. This isn't a wild theory. The evidence is right there in the graphic. When you have the biggest star in the sport and choose not to feature her, that's not an accident. That's ideology beating common sense. That's someone saying we won't give her special treatment, even though special treatment is exactly what competent marketing demands. Look at the players on that poster. Who would object to Caitlin Clark being featured? Most of them know how star power works. They know her visibility helps everyone. The only player who might push back is Kalia Copper, and that would be rooted in old guard resentment, not logic. I appreciate all the support, but let's look at the broader pattern, because this keeps happening. This isn't a one-off mistake. It's a consistent failure across multiple organizations to market the sport's biggest draw. USA Basketball fumbled the Olympic roster, and now this poster.
These people are fools, man. There's no other way to really describe it. These people are just fools. Should have had CC, Paige, and Angel in the graphic. I swear women's basketball doesn't know how to promote their product. Why should that change? WNBA has dropped the ball. Indiana Fever have dropped the ball. Nike has dropped the ball. Damn near the only ones that haven't been Wilson and the Women's Professional LPGA, not WPGA. Don't worry, WNBA media coaches, these players will get a front row seat when they see the foreign teams' fans seek their autograph picture like they're at a Michael Jackson concert. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I appreciate all the support.
The WNBA has repeatedly missed opportunities to capitalize on Clark's momentum. The Indiana Fever's own marketing has been uneven. Nike dragged its feet releasing her signature shoe and bungled the rollout. The only groups that truly understood the moment were Wilson, which immediately partnered with her, and the LPGA, which embraced her as a star. Everyone else is either sabotaging themselves or so tangled in politics they can't execute basic promotional strategy. Christine Brennan's point hits the core of it. USA Basketball's mission is to win medals but also to grow the sport. They completely failed to grow women's hoops at the 2024 Olympics, and now, with a second chance, they're repeating the same mistakes. New scenario, same error. Think about what'll happen once this team starts traveling. When they show up in another country, fans there will lose their minds over Caitlin Clark. They'll treat her like she's at a Michael Jackson concert. They'll pack in for autographs and photos. International fans understand star power. They get that individual icons attract attention. And the WNBA media members who coach the old guard into downplaying Clark's impact will have courtside seats to watch foreign fans prove them wrong. It'll be undeniable. The difference between how global audiences greet her and how the American basketball establishment has treated her will be glaring. That's when reality hits. So, what should USA Basketball have done with this poster? It's simple. Put Caitlin Clark front and center, add Paige Buckers, feature Angel Reese, and yes, include Juju Watkins because she's part of the next wave. Those four faces would grab casuals, diehards, and everyone in between. You can still include veterans like Kelsey Plum or Chelsea Gray in secondary positions. That's not disrespect. That's how every major sport operates. That's how you grow an audience. The NBA doesn't hide LeBron in alphabetical lists. The NFL doesn't tuck Patrick Mahomes into the fine print. You lead with your stars. But instead, we get Kalia Copper and Jackie Young featured prominently while Caitlin Clark is buried in text. It's backwards, ineffective, and just another example of the same pattern we've seen all year. Here's what I keep returning to. This isn't complicated. You don't need a marketing degree to know you showcase your most popular player front and center.